All right, so I apologize ahead of time for if this is boring. I don't really honestly know how this is going to go. But, okay, so I went to Target with my kids. We were looking for a tie dyed shirt for my daughter because she wanted a Halloween costume. And I was walking through the toy aisle with them, of course, and we waded our way over to board games. Now, I've seen a lot of really cool board games over the last few years. Like, they've been making all these really cool genre board games. The Thing has a board game. Jaws has a board game. Friday the 13th has one now. A lot of people got these board games. Or a lot of franchises, should I say, have these board games. And I was walking through and I happened to come across this beautiful thing right here. And I was like, okay, this is fucking so cool. Hey, Cinema Junkies. Like, I just think this is the coolest box for the board game that I've seen. I just when I saw it, I was like, oh shit. And then I was like, it was only 25 bucks, which typically these are like 40 or 50. So when I saw it was only 25, I was like, all right, I gotta pick this up because this is just too cool looking. And I haven't opened it yet, but I wanna do it here. I don't have anyone to play it with, unfortunately. I don't really have any real like horror friends in real life. But yeah, I wish my man unboxed that board game. You got it. You got it, Larry. So yeah, it says 3 to 5 players. All work and no play. You've traveled into the heart of the Rocky Mountains to take charge of the Overlook Hotel while it is closed for the winter, except you aren't alone. The hotel's bloody history has made some of its past guests a permanent addition to the building, and with them come terrifying visions that begin to corrupt your minds. Snowed in, you desperately explore the rooms of the hotel, attempting to gain enough willpower to withstand the evil influences around you. Worse still, one of you has already succumbed to the terrible forces of the hotel and secretly acts to keep you here forever and ever 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 and ever. It goes forever. Okay. So, a suspenseful game of cooperation, deception, and terror. So, all right, let's check this thing out. I've never bought one of these. I do have the Freddy game, the one from like the 80s or the 90s, early 90s, late 80s, and I have the Nightmare on Elm Street board game as well. There was two. I have both Nightmare on Elm Street board games, but they're both from. Oh well, thank you for the Slasher Sunday love. Thank you, Larry. I remember when you were doing. Oh yeah. You caught me on Drum Dums. That's how you found me. That's cool. I remember I was on there for his Halloween 2 Rob Zombie retrospective watch through. All right. So let's just put this up there. Is that in frame? Good, good. All right. What's up, Stan? And who else was there? Crazy Meg. Hey. All right, so we got a book first. And it says, all work and no play makes a Jack a dull boy. So this is the instruction manual. Kind of looks like, it looks like a walkthrough guide for like, a video game, which is interesting. But let's see here. So, overview. The Overlook Hotel has closed for the winter. You and your friends have traveled deep into the rock. Isn't that what I just read? It's the same thing, isn't it? You've traveled into the hotel. Yeah, it's basically the same thing. Yeah, I mean, it's the same thing. Okay, objective. The Shining is a game of survival and suspense. Players are caretakers Exploring the hotel, attempting to gain enough willpower to withstand its corrupting influences each month. Okay, each month. Those who fail become temporarily possessed, attacking and possibly killing other players. Collectively, if you win, or you win if you all survive to the end of the 4th month. Interesting. So you're trying to all survive. So you can all win or you all lose? Is that okay? That's interesting. Learning without the corrupted. The Shining is the most exciting when the corrupted role is used, but the game also works as a fully cooperative experience. If this is everyone's first time playing, you may want to try learning the game without the corrupted role. Okay, so there's 2 different ways to play it. Simply add in the role when you are ready. C, playing with the corrupted. Okay, interesting. Corrupted variant objective. One of you plays the role of the corrupted, who has already succumbed to the terrible forces of the Overlook Hotel and secretly acts against the other players. The corrupted wins if one character dies. Oh wow, so all they got to do is kill one single character and they win. Wow. Be careful. If the caretakers fail to identify the corrupted before the end of the 4th month, then the corrupted will sabotage the snowcat, preventing escape and forcing the caretakers to survive a 5th month before the snow thaws and help arrives. Wow, this is, yeah, okay. So then the setup. So let's look at the board. Here is the tokens. So we've got shot glasses. I'm assuming this has to do with Jack's drinking. We got a baseball bat that Wendy Torrance swipes at him, so I'm assuming that's got that. We got a knife. We've got Jack's bloody axe. And that's all the tokens here. And then a bunch of hearts. And same thing here. Now, of course, I don't know what the numbers mean. Oh, look at the carpet, the iconic carpet on the back of the tokens. So some are, yeah, so these ones are all just little hearts. Well, we'll get to that, but I don't know what that means. All right. Ooh, look at that. That's cool. So the back of the board is the Overlook Hotel. And let's see, the whole back of it's actually like almost like a landscape photo. That's pretty cool. Look at that. So it's got the Overlook Hotel during the summer, and then it's got the Overlook Hotel during the winter. So that's the back of the board game. So that's pretty cool. Usually backs of board games are just black, right? They're boring, there's nothing on them. But these guys actually put something really cool on the back. So that's actually really cool attention to detail. Oh, interesting. Okay, so the board itself is a little different than I would have expected. They're very big spaces to stay on. So there's only, what, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 rooms and an elevator? Is that what those? Yeah, so you got the elevator of blood. You got room 237. You got the kitchen, the gold room, where you can throw some real parties in here. You got the office, where Jack crushes the communications. The Colorado room. And then the hedge maze. And then the month tracker. So this one gives you the months you got to survive, and then the 5th month if the corrupted isn't found out, I guess. Caretaker's apartment. Oh, I missed this one. So you got the caretaker's apartment. Yes, perfect for a child. Okay, so roll and lose. Interesting. All right, what else do we got here? We've got. This is pretty cool, man. Right here. Hey, Dylan. I want to put this on my keychain. Fucking, it's the keys to room 237. That's pretty cool. So I don't know if that's like anything, but I don't know how that plays into the game. But there you go. Your pawns are pretty basic. Nothing. You like that dancing? My little. I always love when she does that. Just her little arm movement. We could throw some real parties in here. Anyways, I've seen The Shining way too many times. Here's the other 4 pieces. So 5 pieces all together. Nothing cool about these pieces. I wish that these would have had some kind of symbolism to them or something that pertained to the film. Unless I'm missing something and these somehow look like something from The Shining, but I've seen The Shining literally hundreds of times, and this isn't ringing any bells for me. So, what would I want these to be though? What would be good pawns in this game? Because I don't think you're like Jack and Wendy and Danny or like I don't know. We'll get into it a little more where we're at in it. I don't know if like what characters you're supposed to be, but what would you want the pawns to be? I gotta think of something cool. So bored at work. Oh, third shift. Jeez, what time is it there? All right, and then we got this little dot, this little block. I don't know what the fuck that is. That's, yeah. And then we got a little keychain. I wonder if this is like just for your keys, or if this is like, is this just something that like comes for the game, or does this actually like, is this something for your car? Like, I'm seriously thinking about putting this on my keys. I have my keys on me? No. All right. Well, if that's not part of the game, I'm putting that on my keys. That's cool. And then, okay, so we got the dies here. So we got the elevator. We've got a knife, the axe, the baseball bat, and a blank space. Yeah, so the Taylor Swift space right here, and then all these. I don't know what this means, but there you go. And then this dice has got 3 black sides, and then 3 like blood stain drops. What the fuck that means, who knows, but no traditional dice here, man. It's got these are interesting dice. No numbers, no numerical values to them. And then from there, we've got these 2 packs of cards. And I don't know, let's open these up. All right, so Shining 2 through 5. Wow, okay. These instructions are pretty big too. Like, this is like a book. This is no joke. This is like an IKEA fucking manual or something. This is big. This is ridiculous. Okay. Playing with the code. Jesus Christ. Holy shit. This is intense. This is intense. All right. Setup. Place the board within easy reach of all the players. Really? Like I'm gonna put it across the fucking room and everyone's just gonna like use like long brooms to move the come on. You don't gotta tell me to put them in fucking reach of people. It's so stupid. All right, number 2, shuffle the Shining and event decks separately and place them face down near the game board. Create the willpower pool. Randomly draw 13 willpower tokens per player and place them face down in a single pool next to the game board. Wait, what? Randomly draw 13 willpower tokens per player and place them face down in a single pool next to the board? Why would you draw them and then put them all together? Return the remaining tokens to the box. They won't be used for this game. Oh, because there's going to be some left out? I don't know. Why would you put them all together if you, I don't know. That doesn't make any sense to me. Whatever. Anyways, moving on. Place 1 willpower token drawn from the pool face up onto each of the spaces marked with a solid circle on the ground floor locations. In a 4-player game, fill the extra space in the office. In a 5-player game, also fill the extra space in the kitchen. Anybody confused yet? Place the month tracking cube on the first space. Okay, so this is the month tracking cube. So that goes up here. And you're gonna stay up just to watch me look at a board game? Okay. Welcome. Each player chooses a mover and places it in the office. Place the dice near the board within easy reach. Enough with the easy reach, guys. Enough. That's ridiculous. Each player takes 3 health tokens. Health tokens. I'm assuming, let's see. Does it say? It says somewhere. What does it say? I saw something that said what those are. What am I, fucking crazy? I swear I saw something here that told me what each one of these tokens meant. It must be in here somewhere. No, they're down here. So the little hearts are health tokens. The keychain is the first player keychain. So I guess this, like, you keep this on you to show that you were the first person? I don't know. We'll get there. Each player chooses a mover and places it in the office. Each player takes 3 health tokens. Randomly determine a first player and give them the room 237 first player keychain. Play will proceed clockwise. Deal 2 shining cards face down from the bottom of the deck to each player. Do not look at your cards. If playing corrupted variant, count out 1 fewer caretaker roll cards than players. Shuffle in the corrupted roll cards and deal 1 to each player. Keep your roll secret. All right. So then, willpower tokens. So the willpower tokens seem to be any one of these. So willpower tokens represent the mental resolve you need to overcome the corrupting force of the Overlook Hotel. You must try to collect enough willpower tokens from the hotel locations and the willpower pool to avoid becoming possessed and attacking other players. The number of each token represents the willpower gained. Jesus Christ, man. If the total value of the willpower tokens you collect in a month equals or exceeds the value of your combined shining cards, you will overcome the visions this month. The visions. Wow. Some willpower tokens have an additional effect. Whiskey tokens. Each whiskey token provides willpower equal to the total number of whiskey tokens you have collected. Example, 1 whiskey token is worth 1 willpower. 2 whiskey tokens are worth 2 willpower each for a total of 4. 3 tokens are worth 3, so for a total of 9. Okay, so they compound. That's interesting. Weapon tokens. These tokens have a high willpower value, but are risky to take. They may make you more dangerous during the shining phase. Wow. Certain room actions may force you to discard willpower tokens from the game or return them to the pool. Either way, tokens must be placed face down. The willpower pool is the collective morale of the group, which players draw mental strength from. The pool is limited. Once exhausted, it will become very difficult to avoid becoming possessed, and players will lose an additional health token when attacked. This is complicated. This is complicated. Shining cards. So, shining cards. Okay. So this one says shining 2 through 5, and this one says shining 2 through 4. So I'm assuming you have to have 3 players to play, so it can't be 2 to 3. What is this? Oh, wait. Maybe not. Maybe the other ones have. Let's see here. Can I even get these open? My mama said, don't use your teeth. Let's see. All right. I actually didn't use my teeth. All right. So, oh yeah. So shining 1 through 5, shining 2 through. Yeah, my wrists don't bend that way. Shining 2 through 3. Yeah. So these all have different numbers on them. What the hell they mean? I have no idea. Okay, so these are just pictures from the movie, from what I can tell. Interesting. Okay. So you've got that little pig guy who's blowing fucking other dude. You got the skeletons that are in the gold room that Wendy sees. You've got the Grady Twins Massacre. You've got the gold room soiree that Jack walks in on. I did pick up the box set. I did a review of Never Hike Alone, and I did a whole unboxing of that. So in my last live video, I did a full unboxing of that set. So go back and check that out. Next, you've got the Grady daughters. I guess they're not twins, right? I know that's like a common mistake. Sorry. But I have twins, so I guess that's where I'm going with that. But they are twins. So I don't understand. But they're not twins in real life. How about that? Whatever. Anyways, but here's the room 237 key. No, a couple of them. Okay, so we got the Grady Massacre again. We got these again. You've got Wendy finding the truth of Jack's writing, a red rum door. What all these are going to play into. Jack in the Hedge Maze. We've got... really, I remember watching the live when I was at work. Then I missed the beginning. I unveiled it the entire time, man. Yeah, I went through the whole thing. You've got Danny, and he's doing his little red rum, red rum, red rum. And then you got Dick Halloran's dead body here. And then you got Jack kissing the old, ugly, fucking gross lady in the tub. And you got Danny on his trike. And oh, you've got Wendy taking Danny around in the hedge maze as Jack throws a tennis ball around, losing his shit. And that's it. So that's it for those cards. What the numbers mean, I don't know. We'll find out. Together, stronger together. Anyone fans of the Mick Garris TV Shining? I like it as an adaptation, but of course, as if you've watched my review on it, I want to punch that little fucking Danny in his stupid teeth. I hate that kid's mouth. All right, so these ones actually have words on them, and then there is actually more of those cards from before, which is interesting. So there's a lot of those cards, a lot of picture cards there. And then there's not a lot of these, not a lot of cards with words on them, which is very odd to me. The gold room may not be entered this round. The gold room may not be entered this round. The gold room may not be entered this round. The gold room may not be entered this round. The gold room may not be entered this round. Okay, Jack's fucking crazy. If this is the third event card, end the round and immediately proceed to the shining phase. And then it says it again. So like it's mimicking Jack's. Yeah, so every one of these, it just says the same thing over and over and over again, as if Jack wrote it. It's kind of fun. The caretaker's apartment may not be entered this round. The stairs may not be used this round. The office may not be used this round. Players may not move more than a single space this round. Wow. Room 237 may not be entered this round. Choose one player to draw a shining card. Remove one willpower token from the pool for each weapon token possessed by all players. Remove one willpower token from the pool for each weapon token possessed by all players. I thought they're face down, so you don't know what's what. No? Or face, wait. Face, how do you know which ones are them then? The kitchen may not be entered this round. Choose one player. Choose one player. How do you choose one player? Like everyone just does like rock, paper, scissors? Move all players to the Colorado room. The stairs may not be used this round. Remove one willpower token from the pool from each weapon token possessed by all players. Same thing. The hedge maze may not be entered. Move all the players to the gold room. Caretaker. Okay, so here's the caretaker cards. Oh, okay, so here's the ones you pass out. These are your rolls. So there you go. That's your roll card. So these are given out, and you don't know which one's which unless somebody like makes a little marking on the back. Cheats. All right, so caretaker card says, you win if all caretakers survive the 4th or 5th month. You lose if any caretaker dies. To accuse, reveal this card and the accused player's roll card. 1 accusation total per game. So you only get 1 accusation for the entire time. And if accused, corrupted, all players gain +1 willpower total each shining phase. Caretaker, all players gain 1 shining total each shining phase. Man, I am so confused. Anybody else? I have no fucking clue how to play this game. Hey, David. Go Dodgers. All right. Go Dodgers, I guess. Corrupted. You win if any caretaker dies. You lose if all caretakers survive. Reveal this card if accused or after losing 3rd health token. While revealed, all players, including you, gain 1 willpower. Or you may only move to adjacent locations and you cannot be attacked. Huh. Man. I'm gonna have to really pay attention to like this if I ever get anyone to play it with me. Who the hell can I get to play it with me though? This is setup example for 4 players. Okay, so your tokens, okay, so 4 to 5 players. So you put your tokens down here on these spaces here. Those are the willpower tokens and such. Interesting. All right, and then the shining cards. So these are the ones that we were asking about the numbers. Shining cards represent the horrible visions of the past you witness at the Overlook. The back of each card shows a number range, such as 3 to 5. A number in this range is printed on the front of the card, but remains hidden until the shining phase. The higher the number, the more traumatic the vision, and the more willpower it takes to overcome. At the end of each month, you will turn all your shining cards face up and total them together. So like, you can see who's been traumatized the most. Health tokens. Health tokens represent your physical stamina. Health can be lost when a possessed player attacks another player, when using the elevator, or when moving to a distant location after the willpower pool is depleted. If a caretaker loses all their health tokens, the game ends in an immediate loss. This is some fucking like NES rules right here. You die, you're out. No trying again. Event cards. So the event cards are the ones with the words on them that we looked at here. Event cards are drawn by the first player at the start of each round and trigger different effects at the hotel. They also determine the number of rounds played in a month. Roll cards. Roll cards are dealt at the beginning of the game. One player will play as the corrupted and the others will play cooperatively as caretakers. Gameplay. Months and rounds. Each month contains either 2 or 3 rounds. A round consists of each player taking 1 turn. Number 1, the first player with the room 237 keychain takes the top card from the event deck and reads it aloud before placing it face up for all players to see. An event effect is active for 1 round only. Starting with the first player and continuing clockwise, each player moves and takes room actions to collect willpower from the board and the pool. After each player has taken a turn, a new round begins. The first player discards the current event card face up next to the deck, then draws a new event card. This is like that game when you're playing it, and like when you're about to play it and you kind of like start reading the instructions, and like half the people in the room's eyes start to glaze over and they're like, can we just fucking play already? And then someone's like, well, don't you want to know how to play? And they're like, I don't know, well, can't we just fucking figure it out while we're playing? I hate those people, man. Like, I don't want to know. I don't want to do that. Have you ever actually looked at like the actual rules for Monopoly? Like the real legit rules of Monopoly. They're nothing like most people play. Nothing. Like, I had no clue. Okay. One thing that tripped me out that I found out about recently, I'm sure some of you play right or like play some of these things right. So you're going to be like, yeah, that's what I always do. So when you land on a space in Monopoly the first time, like let's say you roll whatever and you land on, Mediterranean or whatever the fuck. As soon as you land on it, somebody has to buy that space right then and there. The space has to be taken. So you land on it and it sells. So you either buy it, and if you don't buy it, the roller, then everybody at the table starts an auction on it. And I'll give you $50, $100, so on and so forth until the highest bid is thrown at the table. So you can start with like, I'll give you $1. And then if somebody's like, I don't fucking care, you can get it for $1. I had no clue. I had no clue that was a rule in the game, that it had to be sold. Anybody else play like that? I never played like that. That tripped me out when I read that. And then like the way that you like auction or like sell back your things, like percentages and all that. I was so confused when I was reading those instructions. I'm a little more confused reading these instructions. I apologize, guys. I know this is probably not the most entertaining thing in the world, but I figured I wanted to look at the game and I figured, hey, fuck it. I'll throw this on. I'll record it. I know this isn't going to get a lot of love or attention, but whatever. You guys are here. I love the 13 of you that have stayed around. I'd probably leave too, to be completely honest. I don't blame you. But yeah, so let's see. I already went all there. I went there. If the color of the new event card matches the color of a previously discarded event card, this will be the final round. Each player takes the one more turn before the shining phase. Wow. Scott, thank you, man. I appreciate it. Moving. You must move to a new location on your turn. You may not stay where you are. Movement takes place through hallways, up and down the stairs, or by using the elevator. Oh, okay. So, yeah, these are hallways. So you have to go to the next one, and from the Colorado room, you can either go up to the caretaker, or you can go to the office. And then when you're in the caretaker's, you can take the elevator down to the gold room or over to room 237. And then room 237 to the kitchen and so on. So you can only move in certain ways, which is interesting. And then the adjacent room, which is just the next one over, is the only way you could really go anyway. So that whole adjacent room thing, I don't know how that plays into like that's the only way you can go, but oh well, whatever. All right, movement. You may not move through or end your turn in a location blocked by the event card. Okay. Moving to an adjacent location is free. To move farther, you must discard one token from the willpower pool. For each location you move to after the first, longer trips expose you to more horrifying visions and gradually deplete the collective will of the group. If the willpower pool is empty, you must give up a health token for each additional room you move to. The strength of your already depleted willpower wounds you physically. Regardless of how many locations you move through, you may only move once and take the action of the location on which your mover ends. Example, Moving from the Colorado room to the caretaker's apartment is free. Example, moving from the Colorado room through the office to the end of the gold room costs 1 willpower token from the pool. The elevator. Rooms connected by the elevator are considered adjacent for purposes of movement, but the hotel's elevator is haunted, so you must roll the white die to use it. If you roll the elevator doors icon, you are wounded and must discard 1 health token. You have been scarred by the horrifying vision of a cascading wave of blood. You are unharmed by any other roll. Dude, I am fucking lost. Is anybody following this? Like, I am so confused on what the hell you even do at this point. At the end of each month, play proceeds to the shining phase. Have you collected enough willpower to avoid being possessed by the Overlook Hotel? Starting with the first player and continuing clockwise, each player in turn order resolves their shining cards as follows. Determine your total willpower by adding up the numbers of willpower tokens you have collected this month. Determine your shining total by flipping your shining cards face up and adding all the shining numbers together. If your willpower total is equal to or higher than your shining total, you have fought off the horrors of the Overlook Hotel this month. Interesting. At the end of the month, Jen has collected a willpower token with a value of 4 and 2 that show a whiskey. The whiskey tokens are worth 2 each, 1 for each whiskey. Jen's total willpower is 8. She flips her shining cards face up, revealing a 5 and a 3 for a total of 8. Jen's willpower is equal to her shining total. She avoids becoming possessed this month. If your willpower total is lower than your shining total, you are temporarily possessed by the Overlook Hotel. Move and attack as detailed in the possessed steps that follow. There's so much more. There's so much more. There's like 3 fucking pages. I'm burnt. I don't know. Possessed players fall victim to the Overlook Hotel's evil influences and attack a fellow player as follows. Move to the location of the players nearest you, ignoring any event cards blocking access to locations. Do not discard willpower tokens from the pool if you move more than 1 space. If you already share a location with another player, remain where you are. If you move, then one player is closest to you. You must choose which player to attack. You may not use the elevator. If you are in the hotel, you may not move to the hedge maze. If you are in the hedge maze, you may not move into the hotel. Attack. Roll the black and white die. Black die. Attack player loses 1 health token if the result shows a blood splatter. White die. Attack player loses 1 health token for each weapon token the possessed has taken, collected that matches the die result. Elevator doors have no effects. It's a cool box. It's a cool box. This is definitely, I mean, unless I get like a group of friends and we're really like hard up and we want to play, this would definitely be something that would be like, this will be in the background of my videos looking really cool. But the odds that I'm ever actually going to play this thing are very, very low. Very, very low. Someone should make a YouTube video of them playing this and explaining what the fuck is going on. I'm sure if I read the entire thing, it would be cool if we could play online too. I mean, technically, we could. I mean, if we got like a Zoom call together and we all had the game and we sat down and we just moved each other's pieces, like, hey, I'm moving here with this guy, and then we took each other and moved, that'd be kind of hard because then the cards can't match up, right? So yeah, that wouldn't be possible. That would be possible for some games, but not this one. This one would be too complicated to do over Skype or anything. I guess you could just have one guy have the board, and then everyone is just like you. I don't know though, because you can't really put it. It wouldn't work. It wouldn't work. So no, you couldn't play this online. That's a shame. Who's in Arizona? Who's in Arizona who wants to come and try to figure this fucking game out with me? This is wow. This is one complicated ass game. But yeah, I think I do want to put this on my keychain though. It's pretty cool. So yeah, what do you guys think? I mean, is this something you'd pick up for the box? Is this something that you want to play? Were you not confused at all as I was reading this? There's more to it, but I can only read so much. If we're not going to play, that sucks, man. If I had a big group of people here, I'd be down to play for sure. But man, I was like, while I was reading it, I'm kind of one of those people though, when I read out loud, I kind of have a hard time following myself, but when I read in my head, I can follow it much, much better. Anybody else like that? I know there's other people like that, but who else is like that? Who else has a hard time following themselves? Like when I'm reading my kids a book, like at night, if they're like, hey, read us this. If I read it out loud, I have a really hard time following myself. Like I completely forget what I read. But when I read it in my head, I can fucking keep it in my head, no problem. Oh, not no problem, but way less of a problem. Anybody else like that? Yeah, you too, Dylan. This is cool. Should I watch The Lodge? Absolutely. Absolutely. One of my favorite films of the year. It's a 50-50 though, man. There's people, it's that split film of the year. It's that split film of the year. Every year has that split film. Whether it's It Follows, The Babadook, The Witch, Hereditary, this is The Lodge is this year's fucking Babadook or whatever. It's the same thing. It's funny because I was talking about this where every time there is that split film, I'm always on the side of loving it. That like 50-50 film that like half people love it, half people hate it. Pretty much 100% of the time, I'm always the guy on the side of loving it. I love it because it's a challenging film. That's always what it is. It takes a twist or a turn or it goes in a way, and people are not ready for that. I don't like it. Mortuary Collection was okay. That one skit with the guy not using the rubber was messed up. Dude, that guy deserved everything he got, dude. You don't have sex with a chick who asks you to wear a condom and then you take it off behind her back. That's so fucked up on so many levels. Number one, that's like near attempted murder. I mean, she doesn't know if you have a fucking she doesn't know if you have an STD. Come on, that's the whole point. And then number two, you could impregnate her, and then you're just gonna bail on her, and then she has to raise a kid for 18 years. Come on, man. She asks you to wear a rubber. That's the least you can do if she's gonna let you between her legs. So yeah, no, fuck that guy. Have I reviewed It Follows? Absolutely. I did it for a Monster Monday. Very early on. It's one of my earlier reviews. In the first year I did the channel. Don't watch Antebellum. 100%. I hated it. I agree with you, Roger, 100%. I could not stand the film, which is a shame because I think the film had a really impactful message in it that was just mishandled. Personally, my own personal take. There's people who love it. I've talked to a few people and they're like, oh, it was the powerful movie I wanted it to be, whatever, the powerful film that I think it could have been, they thought it was, which is awesome, but it just didn't work for me at all. Watching my Scare Package review, cool. Good movie. And yeah, Scare Package. Wait, Scare Package. Wait, I was thinking of something. I was thinking of Scare Me, Scare Package. I watched that like a month or two ago. Oh, that was the anthology on Shudder. Yeah, that one's fun. That one's super fun. There's another one on Shudder called Scare Me. And then I just watched the special. You know what I watched tonight though? I already did a review for. Is Unhinged with Russell Crowe. So my review for that is dropping as soon as I get off of here. I have it already recorded and everything. I also watched The Possession of Michael King, which I've seen before, but I wanted to talk about it in a full spoiler discussion. And also What else did I watch? I just did a review for Murder, Death, Koreatown, which was terrible. And then I also watched The Last Horror Movie, which I'd never seen before, and it was in my collection. It's another found footage film from like 2003, maybe, somewhere. It's like almost 20 years old, but I really enjoyed it. And Unhinged, though, a little sneak peek here. I loved it. I had a blast with it, man. Total fun. Have I checked out Bly Manor? Yes, I have. I reviewed it. Love Michael King. Scary. I agree. It's really good. But I do have some issues with it that I didn't have the first time. We'll get there. Yeah, Unhinged is really good. I definitely recommend it, but it's $20 right now, so that might be too high for a lot of people, and I completely understand. Anything you recommend on Shudder that's really good? Absolutely. There's some Korean films on there right now that are fan-fucking-tastic and are some of my favorite of the year. You have Metamorphosis and you have Monstrum. Those are two of my favorite films of 2020, and they're brand new on Shudder. Definitely watch them. Somebody said Terrified. Terrified's fantastic, but that's from like 2 years ago. You've probably seen that by now, but if for some reason you missed it, Terrified is one of my favorite horror films of the decade. Yes, decade. I think it's phenomenal. Phenomenal film. Have I seen that Arrow streaming service? I didn't. I have seen that it exists, but I don't have it. Bly Manor started real strong for me. Not sure if overall it's as good as Hill House, but still enjoyed it. It's just the ending went a little wacky. I really enjoyed Bly Manor. I try not to compare because it is a completely different show. I mean, realistically, they have nothing to do with one another. But I really liked Bly Manor a whole ton. I completely understand. Bly Manor, though, is one that when someone's like, I was bored, I wasn't into it, whatever, 100% I get it. 100% I get it. It's not for everybody. No doubt about it. When I was watching it, the whole time I was thinking, wow, this is going to lose a lot of people. A lot of people are going to be disappointed in this and bored. And I totally get it. I totally get it. I wasn't bored, but I get it. Because, period piece, romance, set in a fucking, in a manner like that. There's a lot of stuff like that. You watch Spree, it's decent. It's okay. I didn't care for it much, but I totally understand if you liked it. But I didn't care for it much. The main girl from Bly Manor, yeah, she's good. Ravi from iZombie is one of the main characters in Bly Manor, and I was not expecting that, and I was so excited. By the way, tonight, just so you guys know, today it dropped, and this was very exciting. So someone brought this to my attention, Peter Benavente. I'm sure you guys remember that name. He wrote me up and he was like, hey man, have you seen the new Warzone trailer? Spring 2014, I actually just bought all 3 of their movies on Blu-ray to review. So that's coming soon. So Resolution, Spring, and The Endless, those reviews will be coming soon enough. So look out for those. Anyways, so my friend was like, hey, have you checked out the new Call of Duty Warzone trailer? Because I played that a little. You guys know I'm a big Apex Legends player. And I downloaded the Warzone game for a little bit. And I wasn't super into it. I liked it, but I wasn't super into it. But then he hit me up and he was like, later, Stan. Thanks for stopping by. But he was like, yeah, check out the trailer. So I checked out the trailer for the new update for Warzone, and holy shit, guess who made an appearance in the trailers for the game? Leatherface from Texas Chainsaw Massacre 74. Like straight up Leatherface from the fucking original. Like it looked exactly like him from the movie. So he's in it, and Jigsaw from the Saw franchise is in it. And I was like, what the fuck is going on? So yeah, it's a total like zombie. It's like, you know, Black Ops Zombies, whatever. But it has Leatherface, so they're like going through the woods, and then they like come up on. And there's like when the trailer started, it started making those flash bulb sounds. That's at the beginning of Texas Chainsaw Massacre when they're taking the, you know, when it shows the corpse up on the gravestone. But it's making that noise, and I was like, is this Texas Chainsaw Massacre? What the fuck is happening right now? And then they're like going through the woods with their guns, and then boom, Leatherface with his chainsaw comes out. I was shocked. So I'm downloading that tonight. Have a great night, Veronica. Thank you for stopping by, sweetheart. But yeah, really, really cool. So I'm gonna be playing that tonight. Anybody else gonna download that? So Hubie Halloween is boring with random kinda good parts. That's something I would watch with my kids. Opinions vary. There you go. That's a Roadhouse line. I love it. Are you going to check out the new Borat? Absolutely. Absolutely. Borat is what we need right now in this country. Let me tell you what. We need a Borat movie. Speaking of Leatherface, you hear they're doing another Texas Chainsaw Massacre. Guess it's a direct sequel to the original. Hope it's good, especially since they did a direct sequel already. Indeed, they did. So Texas Chainsaw Massacre is going to become the new Halloween. We're just going to have like 5 different timelines. Is that what we're going for now? That is what we're going. Texas Chainsaw might now, if this really is a direct sequel, which you're saying it is. I saw the poster. But yeah, we're officially in that territory. And I'll say it, if that really is, then Texas Chainsaw Massacre has now taken the crown as the worst continuity, the most fucked up continuity in horror. Like Halloween has had that for a while. You got 1 and 2, then you got like 1, 2, 4, 5, and 6. Then there's 1, 2, and 7 and 8. Then there's 1 and 10, or 11, sorry. And then there's sequels to those. It's so confusing to try to fucking tell people like, oh no, and then 3 has nothing to do with anything, and then Rob Zombie's movies are obviously their own thing altogether. It's so confusing to tell people what's going on in those. Recently watched the Hellraiser series, and that's one of the series, that got continuously better as it went on. You know, I do like the Hellraiser franchise a whole bunch. I'm like one of the only people that actually likes the 2 newer movies. You know, the Revelations and Judgment, right? Those are those titles. I enjoyed those. I didn't see the issue. But I will say this. What I have found about the Hellraiser films, this is what I've noticed. The people who blow 1 and 2, who are like hardcore Hellraiser fanatics, they don't like any of the rest of the series for the most part. They're always like, oh, anything from 2 on, like 3 and up, is shit. And then the people who are kind of like, yeah, 1 and 2 are fine, I like them. They're the people who are like, yeah, I like 3, 4, 5, 6, whatever. Like I've noticed it's the diehards that don't like the rest of the franchise. And then, but what I found ironic about that, and I always laugh about, is that I'm sitting there like, does this make me a bigger Hellraiser fan than you? I am. I'm a bigger Hellraiser franchise fan. They're a bigger Hellraiser, original 2 fan. So they're like purist Hellraiser fans, and then I'm like the Hellraiser fan that's like, I like them all, except for Hellworld, the 8th one with Lance Henriksen and Henry Cavill, the one that's online. Oh, that was fucking awful. It's unwatchably bad. But I like everything else. I really do. I've enjoyed them all, and I did do a spoiler discussion on every single one of them, so there you go. Scott Derrickson saved that franchise. Yeah, he did Hellraiser Inferno. Great flick, man. I really like it. It's actually my favorite Hellraiser movie. Crazy. New TV horror. Yes. Hulu's Monsterland, which gets a lot of shit. It has like a 5 point something on IMDb right now, like a 5.1 or a 5.2. Bullshit. The reason that people aren't liking Monsterland is because they're expecting a traditional monster show. And that's not what that show is at all. It is much deeper. It's super well acted. It's super well done. And it requires some thought. It's very much one of those like, who's the real monsters? the people or this or that. I just think that's a cool flick or a cool show. And I do not understand the hate that it's getting. People might think that there's like some agenda being pushed or something or whatever. I don't know. Social commentary, blah, blah, blah. It's a good show. It's a good show. Monsterland should be getting much more attention and accolades than it is, but there you go. Newfound footage worth watching. I really enjoyed the Fear footage part 2. Terrible acting though. Prepare yourself for terrible acting. I've watched 2 episodes of Lovecraft Country. I will finish the show soon enough. I'm going to binge the whole thing, but I did like what I saw. But the Fear footage 1, you don't have to watch it. It's not very good. But then the Fear footage 2, the lost tapes or the curse tape, that's what it's called. The curse of the tape, the curse tape, tape curse, the cursed tape, whatever the fuck it's called. The Fear footage part 2, the curse of the tape, curse tape, the curse tape. There you go. I'm going with that one. I really enjoyed it. I thought it was super freaky at times, but the acting is atrocious. It really is. It's bad. It's bad. But it's like everything else I really enjoyed about the movie, so it didn't bother me. And the first one does tie heavily into the second one, but the second one explains everything well enough that you're not going to be lost while watching it. So I definitely recommend that for found footage recently. I think that deserves more attention. And they just announced a Fear footage 3. The director and everything. So cool. I'm 100% there the second that it drops. So yeah, there you go. What else? I saw some other stuff. Motherland bordered on short art film. What has been your favorite series this year? Gangs of London was awesome. My favorite series this year. Wow. I've seen a lot. I've seen a lot of great series this year. Ozark had it had its best season this year. Ozark had a fantastic season. You know what show I just finished that I absolutely loved? Now, this is not going to be for everyone. It's not horror. So some of you ignore it. Otherwise, I'll get comments like, you motherfucker. I actually should review it on here because I don't care. I'll review whatever the hell I want. But is the Netflix series brought to us by Ryan Murphy from American Horror Story and all those shows. A limited series called Hollywood with Dylan McDermott. Samara Weaving is why I watched it, because which gives me hope that she's going to show up in a season of American Horror Story. Maybe next season Samara Weaving will show up because she was on that show. But I loved it. The last episode is one of my favorite series finales I've ever seen. It's just dealing with so much of what was wrong at that time period. Hatred, the women not getting their dues, blacks, gays, and it really kind of hits all those points home at the end and gives, them some credit and whatnot. I loved it. I was so invested. I thought it was so funny. I thought it was so well shot. It looks gorgeous. It's a fucking phenomenal looking show too. Like, watch it in the best quality, best clarity you can. Put it on a big screen, 4K. It's a gorgeous show. Samara Weaving is the hottest she's ever been in anything, including The Babysitter. This is the most beautiful she's ever looked in any show. It's such a good show. I really loved it. But God, I've seen so many series this year. So many at this point. But yeah, I had to bring up Hollywood. And I'm sure there's plenty of others that I'm not thinking of off the top of my head, but there you go. Gangs of London was awesome too, by the way. I loved it. Anything by Gareth Evans is fantastic. If you could pick what Quentin Tarantino's last movie is about. Okay, sorry. I was confused by how you spelled something. Anyway, it doesn't matter. What his last movie is about, what would it be about? I have not watched Ratchet. I need to watch that. I'll watch that soon. I'm going to catch up. I'm going to watch The Boys Season 2. Now that it's finished, I can binge it. I did not want to watch it week to week. But let's see. Quentin Tarantino's last movie. What do I want Quentin Tarantino's last movie to be about? If he sticks to this whole 10 movie thing, is Star Trek going to count? Is that what he's going to make? Could he go out on a Star Trek movie? Is he really like Quentin Tarantino is going to be like, my last film is going to be a Star Trek movie? You know what Quentin Tarantino needs to do? He said he was going to make 10 movies. Okay, fine. Make 10 movies and then go over to television. Imagine Quentin Tarantino writing an extended limited series. Like he writes and directs 10 episodes of a show. How fucking phenomenal would that be? I am all about Quentin Tarantino making his progression over onto television. There's been some successful directors that have done that, and I would love to see what Tarantino would do with a television series. Give me a limited 10 episode run of something Tarantino. Kill Bill 3 like that. Give me, her looking for Beatrix, the daughter, looking for her. Kill Bill television series written by Quentin Tarantino. That would be fucking fantastic. So, will Shudder ever revive Channel Zero? No, I don't think so. Nick Akostas has moved on. He has a production company of horror that he's making right now. So very, very exciting. Massive Weight of Unbearable Talent is the name of, I think. Great idea. Thanks, guys. Have you heard about Nick Cage's new meta movie? He's already filming it. The plot was supposed to include Nick Cage trying to land a role in a Tarantino film. I didn't, but Nick Cage has a new movie every week, and my buddy David Zavala, shout out to him, he has watched every single Nicolas Cage movie. He made it a goal of his during this year. Last year, something like that, and then he keeps up on all of it. So he went through from the beginning of his career, anything he even had like a bit role in, an episode of a TV show, doesn't matter. He watched Nick Cage's entire career just because he's a big Cage fan, big Cage freak. And I love Cage because Cage is that guy. You never know what you're going to get from him. You throw on the movie and you're like, this is going to be the shittiest performances I've ever seen, or it's going to be the best. I don't know. Let's find out. Or the best, or this, all in one. I know he's making that. What did I just see? I didn't watch the trailer, but he posted a trailer with him called. It was a martial arts. What was it? Not movie. I don't know, but I saw it and I was like, oh Jesus Christ! Nick Cage is a fucking he's a jiu-jitsu. Thank you. I was like, which one is it? Jiu-jitsu. Yeah, I just saw that he's doing that. Oh, Nick. I just got Mandy on Blu-ray, so I'm gonna do a spoiler discussion of that very soon. I picked it up on eBay with the slipcover and everything for $9 shipped and all. So I got stupid lucky there. So be looking forward to a Mandy review soon enough. Did I enjoy Color Out of Space? I did. I reviewed it. So you can check out my review. I'll give it another chance. I'll definitely give it another chance. It's coming soon. It's at Walmart right now for $15 on 4K. So I don't know. We'll see. It's like $12 on Blu-ray. But anytime there's that like Blu-ray and then there's like a 4K right next to it for not that much more. The Art of Self-Defense with Nick Cage, I guess. The Art of Self-Defense. Isn't that what Jesse Eisenberg's new movie was called? With Imogen Poots? What was that movie called? Wasn't that called The Art of Self-Defense? Am I crazy? I watched that. That was really good. That was a super fun movie. If you guys haven't seen that movie, something self-defense with Jesse Eisenberg and Imogen Poots. Good flick. Are you going to see the new Jackass movie? I heard the first day of shooting, 2 of them went to the hospital. I mean, yeah, I was a huge Jackass fan growing up. I watched the CKY videos back in the day when I was a skater. Those were a big deal to me. And then I watched all of Viva La Bam. I watched Bam's Unholy Union. I watched Wild Boys. I watched everything related to Jackass back in the day. In fact, me and my friends used to do Jackass stunts. So when that little warning pops up on the screen, no motherfucking kid who's 15 years old listens to a goddamn word of that shit. We went out and we blindfolded ourselves and skated through a park. and we would like run into shit that would hit us in like the throat and the head. Stupid ass shit, man. We thought we were so funny, and I still feel it to this day. So, but I had a lot of fun. I never did see that Action Point movie. Who is your favorite Sopranos character? Oh my God. Probably Tony. I mean, Tony's great. I mean, I love Tony. There's so many great lines from Tony throughout the entire series. Tony is so fucking funny. Tony Soprano is such a funny character. I love him so much. James Gandolfini was like, he was the best, man. He really was. And I'm not that guy that like sits here and is like, oh, someone's dead, so let's talk nice about him. No, not at all. I just love James Gandolfini all the way back in his 8mm True Romance days. Like, I've always been a Gandolfini fan, and when he was headlining that show, it was like, yes, finally he's getting that like recognition he deserves. Christopher Moltisanti, I could relate to him because he was like this big film fan, and then he like made that horror movie in season like 6, I want to say. You missed a lot, Ranger. You missed a lot. I remember the scene where he's talking to his girlfriend, or maybe she was his wife at that point, and she told him that she gave like Penn a blowjob, Penn and Teller blowjob in like the bathroom. I'm like, why would you tell your husband that? What the fuck? And he's like, you stupid whore, and like throws her. I was just like, and I'll tell you this, one of my most used lines in my life when I'm with a girl, and we're in a very long-term committed relationship, and we exchange the words "I love you." When a girl tells me "I love you," I always say, not always, of course, I say "I love you" back sometimes, but every once in a while, I'll look at them and I'll say, "You fucking better," because Christopher says that to Adrian, right? Adrian, that's his girlfriend. Dude, I haven't watched The Sopranos since it aired, guys. Not since it aired. I watched it episode to episode when it aired. So when did it end? 20 years ago? And I still remember a lot. I remember a lot of that show. Yeah. Adriana. Okay, I was close. Yeah. It's been a long, long time since I've seen a single second of that show. But I loved it, man. Oh, shit. I remember Paulie coming in from Rocky, and he was like coughing up fucking blood and does a hit on that guy, and I love it. I loved it so much. I remember the Russian guy out in the snow, and he's like, you think this is cold? I wash my balls in ice water. Like, I remember so much about that fucking show. Dr. Melfi and their whole relationship, and Carmela, and fuck, I remember all of them. Ellie. How's it going? I love you too. You fucking better. Damn it. I was cooking up some burgers and baked potatoes for the old lady and a crazy 6-year-old girl of mine. I have 2 7-year-olds, bro. Imagine 2 of them. You check out Cobra Kai? Hell yeah, I've checked out Cobra Kai, bro. And Cobra is spelled with a C. I love it. I fucking love it. I've been watching it since it was airing on YouTube, okay? I watched the episode. My brother is the biggest Karate Kid fanatic, dude. The biggest one ever. Like, if there's anybody who's a bigger Karate Kid fan than my brother Nathan, I do not know of their existence. So my brother has watched the first season like 8 times, and the second season like 6 or 7 times. My brother is a fucking Cobra Kai Karate Kid fanatic. He always has been. It's his whole life. It's his favorite movie. So I love it. I was not expecting. I was like, Karate Kid was something I kind of grew up with, and it's just one of those. It was one of those movies for me. It was like, yeah, it was fun. It's cute. I liked it. I liked that movie, but it wasn't like a big deal to me. So when Cobra Kai got announced, it wasn't a big deal to me. I was like, oh, they're rebooting another franchise. Here we go again. We've done this a million times, right? But I watched it, the first episode, and was like, wow, this is like really good. Like, really good. This is surprising. I wasn't expecting that from this show. And then I finished the season and was like, wow, that was like one of the better seasons I've watched in years. Like, crazy. So then like the second season came out and I'm like, couldn't they really like hold this for another season? And then the second season came out and I was like, damn, dude, that might even been better than the fucking first season. Crazy. So very exciting. And Netflix not only has the third season coming out in January, but they've already greenlit a fourth season. So there you go. What's your workout routine? My friends look like you're packing on some muscle. Honestly, I just do very basic at home stuff. I don't go to the gym anymore because of COVID. So just push-ups and dips. So just go in your kitchen and or anywhere in your house that you can find two level surfaces that you can put your hands on and do dips. Those are super good for your triceps. Anyways, you don't need a workout advice, but you asked. But I just do everything at home. And I'll actually like take like shit around my house, like chairs, and I'll curl my chairs. I'm like prison working out. But it works. I don't fucking, you can work out with anything. Anybody who tells you like, I don't have the right stuff to work out, you got gravity, bitch. You got fucking gravity. Use it. So if pot gives you energy, wow, that's interesting. I've smoked pot, let's see, 3 or 4 times in my life. The first time I thought it was funny. I just laughed a bunch. And then I said something really fucked up to my girlfriend at the time in front of my friends, something I would never say otherwise. And it really like threw me. And I was like, what the fuck? That's not like me. So it was like, I almost like decreased my, like ability to like, filter myself. It's really fucking stupid. And I got really upset with myself over it. And then, so I like avoided it. And then I got in a car wreck and I broke my leg and I was in a lot of pain. And my friend was like, dude, smoke this. It'll make you, take the pain away. Or you could listen to that song, Fuck the Pain Away, which is my preferable method. But I smoked it and it fucked me up bad. I was like, I was wrecked. Like, not in a good way at all. I had a full-blown panic attack. I mean, one of the worst I've ever had in my life. And I know this is going to sound weird. And people are always like, it must have been laced with something. I don't know. Whatever. But I was having a panic attack so bad. This is the only way I can explain or describe how I was feeling. So my skin was hurting really bad, like my entire body from it. I was like freaking out so bad that it felt, and I've always used this as the explanation because this is exactly what it felt like. But it felt like wind was blowing at like 1,000 miles per hour and my body was like stuck in the ground so it wouldn't move, but like my skin was being torn from my body by the skin that was ripping away. From pot. Yeah, from pot. And then the third time I smoked pot, I smoked it in the fucking back of my friend's car. And I closed my eyes, and I saw this like pig that was pulsating different like tie-dyed colors. So like the skin of the pig was changing colors, and he was talking to me. Yeah, from pot. And while my eyes were closed, my friend was listening to this really like intense rap beat. Like music with like this like real like heavy bass, and every time the bass would pulsate, it would fucking change the color of the pig. So the pig moved with the beat of the music. It was like acid. Dude, I'm telling you, like, and then anytime I'm in a room where someone smokes pot and I even get a whiff of it, I immediately start having like terrible reactions. Awful. I don't want weed. I don't want any drugs around me. I hate them. I'm not into them at all. So there you go. We went down a big rabbit hole there with that shit. Anyway, guys, I got to get to my video games. My brother just texted me. He's on. We're going to go play that Call of Duty or, Modern Warfare Warzone with Leatherface and Jigsaw. Check that out. Why would you ever smoke again after the second experience? Because everyone was like, dude, you had a fucking bad experience because someone must have laced it, this and that, and years had passed. And I was like, yeah, I've never heard of any. And I talked to 1,000 potheads, and I talked to 1,000 people who'd smoked pot before, and they're like, dude, I've never heard of anyone experiencing anything like that. It must have been laced. So I was like, all right, fuck it. So the third time, I was just like, you know what? I'll try a little bit. I'll try a little bit and we'll see how I feel. Because I took a huge bong rip that second time. And then this time I was like, just like a little bit. And I was like, all right, let's see how it sees. And then I'm talking to some fucking pulsating warthog. I thought he was going to start singing a Kuna Matata to me or something. So anyway, guys. All right. Thank you all so much for joining. It's awesome. We were here for this thing. It's at Walmart, or it's at a Target for 25 bucks. It's insanely complicated. We went through the instructions and everything. I was so lost about halfway through. So, but you know, some of you are smarter than I am. I'm not claiming to be smart. Kind of an idiot sometimes. We all are, right? And there you go. So that's what we're here for. Guys, it was a blast as always.